thank you, Berta, for having us.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please, first of all, introduce yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am Berta Vall. I'm a psychologist. I have a PhD on clinical psychology. I am the Research and Development Manager at the European Network for the Work with Perpetrators, and I'm also professor here at Ramon University in Barcelona.
Wow, that's a lot. A lot to be proud of.
Yes, thanks.
What are the key challenges or dilemmas that you would say that gender-based violence is currently facing, or that you are currently working with through your organization?
Yes. So this is interesting question because we just conducted a mapping to assess what were the main practices throughout our membership. And we conducted interviews, we sent surveys, so it was a very, let's say, thorough research project. And we realized that the main challenges, the main issues still to be solved are, first of all, how to integrate the gender perspective in the work with perpetrators, specifically of domestic violence, but I think it can be applied to other types of violence also. This still remains a challenge. It's acknowledged that it's important, but practitioners don't know really how to integrate it in practice, and there are no procedures on how to do it. So we are really eager now to try and help our members improve that aspect. Another challenging aspect is the collaboration with victim services. So how can we enhance our collaboration with the victim services and for the best interest of the victims, obviously. So this is also still a challenge. And then also all the procedures on risk assessment and how to manage that risk. So we saw that there are very different tools also to assess the risk. But again, when there is cases of specific high risk, some of our members lack the procedures on what to do.
Yeah.
So this is also for us very challenging and important. And I would say last but not least, evaluation.
Yeah.
We just discussed a little bit about that here in the workshop. So to ensure that there's a systematic evaluation conducted so that we know based on evidence what works for whom, under what circumstances, and all these complex questions, this is still a challenge. And also I would say having a staff well-trained to do this work, that would be the list of challenges.
No, I hear you, Berta. So normally I would also ask what kind of measures you would like to implement. You talk a lot about tools.
Yeah.
Is there any tool that you're already working with at the moment, or something that you're still developing but that you would like to implement to see what the effect would be in that, to change that factor, let's say?
Yes.
Could you dive a little bit deeper on one of those tools, maybe procedure guidance that you were discussing just in the first?
Yes, indeed, we did this mapping also to set up a little bit our strategic actions and how to help our members to improve those practices. So on the one hand, we have the impact outcome evaluation toolkit. And this impact toolkit has been especially developed to assess the outcome of perpetrator programs. So we are really trying to help our members to really integrate this tool into their practice. And we provide training, we help them, to understand how to use the tool, but also we help them analyzing the results. So we want the results to be informative for the practice. And in terms of collaboration with victim services, for example, we have also a protocol that we developed in the context of an European funded project. It's called the ASAP protocol, and it helps kind of structuring possible collaboration procedures and meetings with victim services, for example. And we are very eager to develop new tools. For example, now we are really focused on the risk assessment, so we are also doing a systematic review on the main tools and how we can improve and update also these tools. So this is also now a big project we are working on. And in general, trainings, capacity building, and
It's the basic training, education, learning, and learning by doing it, of course.
Exactly.
Well, then my last and my final question for you, Berta, is so we almost finalized the workshop on gender-based violence. Is there any thoughts, ideas, or even measures, objectives that you would take with you today and maybe even implement into your own your working in the field? that you had that well, that's quite interesting that this person or this speaker made your presentation that you saw today. Like, oh, that's quite interesting. I never thought about it this way. Is that something that comes to your mind?
I think it was a very interesting workshop because we could see different practice and from different perspectives. It shows clearly the complexity on when we try to tackle these issues. I would say that the work that it has been done in Latvia by this NGO working with sexual abuse and how the challenges that they were facing also in terms of the social response to the actions they were doing, that really resonate also with our practices. And I think we really need let's say a community response. No, we really need to think about what kind of measures we can implement so that we also change these social norms and we can do the work in a way that it's recognized and understood really well what we want to do. So I would say probably this. I didn't want to finish the interview without mentioning that we are launching our standards for perpetrator programs.
Okay.
So just to flag this, that we're very happy to have the first European standards for quality perpetrator programs, and we will be launching them in December. So
that's great news. Congratulations already from my part to you. Thank you, Berta, for all your time, energy as well, and I wish you all the best then with the launching in December.
Thank you very much. Thank you, CEP. I'm always really happy to come to your events. They are really interesting and I always learn a lot.
But we are happy to have you.
Yes.